Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network. Welcome to Gun Sports Radio, all about shooting, hunting, self-defense, and more. Now, here are the hosts of Gun Sports Radio, Dave Stahl and Lance Pelkey.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and from Gun Sports Radio, happy Father's Day for all you great dads out there. How you doing, Lance? Pops?
I'm doing terrific. Father's Day, Harry the cat went out to breakfast with us at 910 Restaurant and on Prospect Boulevard. Everyone brings their dog, so we bring our cat. It was just awesome.
And this is a hairless cat.
It's a hairless cat. Harry the hairless cat. He's famous. He's got a Facebook, so if you're not on Gun Sports Radio Facebook, you should be. Then you can take a look at Harry the hairless cat. Mike's got a cat, too.
I hear they get along, cats and dogs.
Yeah. You got a cat?
Very well.
I do, a little Noodle.
Noodle the cat.
Oh, my God. Am I the only man in this booth right now?
Hey,
come on.
I got Rottweilers.
There you go.
You could borrow the Dachshunds, but I got Rottweilers. Yeah. Noodle
the cat.
Okie dokie. Moving right along.
Yeah, so what's on the show for today besides noodles?
Well, before we go to that, I got to tell you about the website. Oh, my gosh. Lance, you and Aaron just knocked that sucker out of the park. Gunsportsradio.com. If no one's looked at it, it is amazing. You can ask questions. You can give suggestions. You can see what's going on. It's wonderful. I'm telling you, it's absolutely wonderful. Now, let's get to the show. Gun Range San Diego is our sponsor. We couldn't do this without them. An amazing Nordstrom's of gun ranges. And you know what I found out last night?
Uh-oh.
That was the Garlow's main premise was to bring a gun range to San Diego like a Nordstrom's.
Yeah.
And I go, well, that's what I've been saying. And he goes, I know. So I must have seen it when I walked in the building. Absolutely.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
And I love it when I do stuff like that because normally I don't.
I love it when I can see what's right in front of me.
I know. Every once in a while, 10 to 10, 7 days a week, anything and everything you'd ever want. You want to get trained? They can do that. You want to buy a weapon? They can do that. You want to shoot it before you buy it? They can do that. You want to bring your group in? They can do that. 7 days a week, 10 to 10.
We had a 15-man bachelor party yesterday.
Holy, and you were there?
They had, I was there. And they had a blast. And I did my best to talk the bachelor out of getting married, but it didn't work. But they had a blast.
Was it fun, though?
Oh, yeah. All the guys were super fun. We had a couple of RSOs set aside just for them to make sure they got the one-on-one, attention.
What set aside?
Our range safety officers.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
For some of these,
for those who know habla gun
talkaluni.
Yeah. We have range safety officers, and so we had some set aside for these guys, and they had a great time. And thank you to that group, if you're listening, for being out there. They tipped our RSOs really well, which was not needed but appreciated. And,
sure. Wow.
Yeah, it worked out really good. Everybody had a great time. Our crew had a great time. They had a great time. It was really fun.
Cool.
Like it.
Hey, we got Chris Cate on the line there, my friend. Absolutely. Hey, Chris, how are you today, sir?
How you guys doing? Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to you, too. And I see Michael set this up. Michael, nice job.
You bet. Chris Cate is a big supporter of the Second Amendment. He is a San Diego City Council member in District 6, right, Chris?
Yes, sir.
And he's up for re-election, and I thought we'd have him on the show. He had a pretty interesting week last week involving San Diego County gun owners. But I just why don't we kick it off with just asking Chris, how do you feel as an elected official and a lifelong Californian, how do you feel about California's firearms laws in the state?
I think I'd be putting it kindly when I'm saying I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
It's something, and it's really disturbing. I think from the standpoint of trying, as much as official when we're creating policy, you want to understand the issues that you're voting on or carrying legislation on, and it feels like consistently over and over again that some of the state assembly members and senators have no clue what they're talking about when it comes to firearms, the Second Amendment, what have you, and I'm trying to resolve my frustration.
It's just frustrating.
I can hear it. I can hear it in your voice, boy. Let me tell you.
So I mean, it's just you want to understand the issues before you weigh in on them, and it's. I mean, again, to put it kindly, that's not happening in Sacramento.
Well, Hey, Chris, this is Hollywood from San Diego County or San Diego Gun Range, and we got to hang out a little bit last month at the dinner at the Del Mar. But I got to ask, what made you spearhead the proclamation for the San Diego County gun owners?
Well, I think for the last couple of years, the organization has done a fantastic job under Michael's leadership and really reaching out to folks, trying to educate a whole host of individuals regarding firearm safety, the Second Amendment, their rights, and have been just an amazing community organization. And these are the types of organizations that I, as a council member and a representative of the city, want to promote. We want folks to be engaged with these types of organizations, learn more about the issues that they're talking about, and they're to be celebrated. And that's what the proclamation we spearheaded for was to celebrate the organization.
Well, for those listening, real quick, the proclamation was May 6th. That was the same day as our dinner. Chris got it organized that the City Council of San Diego named it San Diego County Gun Owners Day, which is very cool. Did you encounter any resistance when you were getting the signatures for the proclamation?
For the most part, not. But I did have a conversation with one of my colleagues, Councilmember Chris Ward, and
he was the only one that didn't sign it, by the way.
Correct.
I thought Barbara Wright flipped.
No, but she voted against. So we're getting to that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting to that.
So Councilmember Ward came to my office, and he just, I appreciate him coming to me, and we had a conversation, and he indicated he was just not willing to sign it. He couldn't put his name to it. And although I disagree wholeheartedly with his contention and his decision, you have to respect that decision at the end of the day. And he decided not to sign it. But other than that, that was the only resistance that I experienced when going through this. And, kind of how it works, we sign a lot of these. We typically respect the will of our colleagues and who they want to celebrate or the organization they want to celebrate. Over the past few years, they have not been political at all. I signed proclamations given to organizations that I don't necessarily agree with, or individuals who I know who have supported candidates or ran campaigns against either myself or other colleagues who I've endorsed and supported. But again, these are individuals who they're celebrating for whatever beliefs that they have by that council member, and typically you respect that, and we sign them.
Well, that's why San Diego County or San Diego Gun Range San Diego and the radio show here, we support you because you have that mentality where you don't have to necessarily agree, but it's not about what you believe specifically, but it's what your constituents need. It's what they want, and so that's how you vote. And so that's why we appreciate what you do so much, is because you truly are the kind of guy that you. It's about the people in your district and what they need, what they want, and that's how you act. That's how you vote. And that's exactly what we appreciate.
Now, Chris, have you guys got something going on tomorrow night?
Yeah, so we have, again, as Michael mentioned, we have a reelection campaign. We just kicked off, and although it's not till next year, we try to get a head start on things. And the Gun Range San Diego has been an awesome, just a partner, supporter. I've taken my wife out there, some of my neighbors out there as well too, and they've just been fantastic. And the Gun Range, as well as the San Diego County Gun Owners Association, are put on little fundraising events for my reelection campaign tomorrow night at 6 p.m. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm probably going to need it after council tomorrow night. It's going to be a long meeting, so I'm gonna enjoy myself and just hang out with some amazing people tomorrow night, and just again grateful for all the support.
We're really looking forward to having you out there.
What time does it start?
We're very excited.
6 p.m. 6 p.m. it starts, and we'll do a little training. We'll say a few words, and then go out and have some fun.
And if you donate $50 to Chris Cate's reelection campaign, shoot for free, right?
Yeah, you get a free rental. Not only do you get on the range for free, but you actually get a rental, a basic rental for free as well. So, we have about 60 different firearms, and you get to, if you want to shoot like a Glock like Lance has, one of these race Glocks, or you want to shoot an SPO1, which are really hard to get, which we have there at San Diego right now. You can shoot that. All you got to do is just come out and show a little support for someone who supports what we do every day. So
yeah, because if you don't support guys like Chris Cate, then guess what? When it goes sour or goes the wrong way, then don't complain. Don't complain at all.
Yeah, and
he's not just putting lip service to it; he's putting his backbone into it.
Absolutely. And Mike Schwartz has said this a million times. It's not the guys who are in, the people who are in the federal government now, the people who are in Sacramento right now, the people who are making our life hard right now. They were in Chris's spot years ago. So we got to keep guys like Chris moving up the ladder, up the chain.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Hey, Chris, thank you very much for taking time out of your Father's Day. And again, happy Father's Day to you as well. If people wanted to learn more about you, what's a good website or an email or a Facebook?
So Facebook is Chris J. Cate. That's our Facebook page, as well as Twitter. ChrisJCate.com will be our website. We're raising the money to get all that stuff, that infrastructure built out. So the website isn't up just yet, but it will be shortly. But on Facebook and Twitter, it's Chris J. Cate. And thank you guys so much for all you do for the show. Congratulations on it. And I can't thank you enough for all the support.
Hey, it's team effort. Well, the only way we're going to make this happen is as a group, not individually. So thank you for what you do. Folks, we're going to take a small break. You've been listening to Gun Sports Radio right here on AM 1170, The Answer.
AM 1170, The Answer.
Folks, welcome back. You're listening to Gun Sports Radio. I'm Dave.
I'm Lance.
And again, happy Father's Day. And I want to put a special thanks to Lance and Eileen for putting on such a phenomenal dinner last night.
Did you get enough to eat?
And Harry was the star of the whole evening. I got to tell you.
Cat.
Between that and your lovely daughter singing to us, and now she's become tight with my wife.
Mara?
Mara and my wife. Oh, my gosh. They're the best of
Mara's
friends.
the best. I love it when she comes to the gun range. She is
amazing.
Yeah.
It's totally amazing. All right. Hey, we got our good buddy, John Dillon, on the line, and I know he's got nothing but good news.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, happy Father's Day to all you guys out there that are fathers.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, what good news you got for me?
Well, I'm not really going to come up with news today. I have another question that came in through my website. Someone asking some legal questions or questions regarding some of California laws. But before I talk about that, I did want to touch on, I know Chris Cate was just on the line, and we were discussing San Diego County Gun Owners Day and how there was some opposition to that. And I'm very glad to hear that, that was denied, and we still have our day. But I just wanted to point out to everyone, you should really consider what people are opposing. They're opposing this day, the Brady organization, and this is San Diego County gun owners that they're opposing. This is a group of people that are good, filled with responsible, good citizens that contribute wholeheartedly to the economy and everything else in San Diego. We teach safety and responsibility with firearms. They really instill the right principles. And we're not an extremist group that's like, hey, go buy a fighter pilot, a jet, because that's what you're allowed to do under the Second Amendment. It's a very... Honestly, it's a reasonable group. Hey, we have our Second Amendment rights, and, we should be allowed to exercise them.
Responsibly.
And that is just too much. Just the simple act of, supporting one of the Bill of Rights is just extreme in their eyes, and they can't have that day. astounded them. So,
well, and the one guy who refused to even sign it, his name's a Councilmember Ward. How much did he know about? I mean, really, all he went on was our name. He's San Diego County gun owners.
It said gun. That's where he got.
I mean, it's just, what an extremist point of view that he can't even sign a proclamation.
Oh yeah, and I think all of you will know anytime you came up and spoke with someone who, had opposition towards the Second Amendment or something like that. Rarely do you find someone who's willing to sit down and really just listen to what you have to say and then calmly respond with their, logical reasoning behind their view. It's a rare thing, and I've yet to really see it ever happen.
Well, we're doing the fundraiser for Chris tomorrow at the Gun Range San Diego. How, as a legislator, as a lawyer, someone who sees how laws are enacted and how they affect the community, you see it closer than anybody else. How important is it to get the right people, keeping people like Chris in office? How important is that?
There's absolutely nothing more important. These people that we elect to represent us, that's the basis of our country, So if we want, our views upheld and, people representing those views, the only way that's ever going to happen is when you have the right people that support and will support your views throughout whatever position they end up getting, electorally. And so there is no more important issue than that, to have the right people representing you. That is what our country is founded on. You elect and you vote for the people that you feel most represent you as society and a country.
John, when we all started this show, 46 shows or whatever it was, we talked about exactly this, and that is all of us making a difference in our local area. So I encourage all of us to pick up the phone and call our local elected official. And Mike knows this, but when I heard that City Council member Barbara Bree for District 1, which is the beach area where I live, actually flipped and ended up voting against it when it came up for vote, I called her chief of staff and left him a voicemail. And I encourage all of you to do the same thing. And also, I mean, people, these folks may not be in your district, but, reach out.
It doesn't make any difference.
Reach out, man. Support the people that aren't in your district, like tomorrow night at Gun Range San Diego. Chris Cate is an amazing guy, even if he's not in your district. If you all live in El Cajon, you live in Fallbrook, wherever you live, come on down and support Chris Cate, and we'll give you some other great people like him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
No, of course. And, it's not just with gun issues. Unfortunately, in today's society, politics has become something that, has been considered, it's boring, I don't care, and people don't pay attention. I believe that for the past 15, 20 years, people really haven't paid attention, especially on the local level of, what's going on in their communities. And the problem with that is the wrong people get elected, the people that don't represent your views. And, whether it's with guns or taxes or anything else, it will have an effect, and a big effect on your life.
Got it, baby. What was that question that someone called in with? Or emailed?
So let's see. So we have Alex from Miramar. He wants to know if there are storage requirement laws for firearms when you store them in your home. And that's actually a really good question.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that there are laws that mandate exactly how you store your firearm when you're in your home. Excluding city requirements, San Francisco, they passed an ordinance, I believe, last year that put heavy restrictions on how firearms are stored in the home. But on a state level, actually, California does not have general storage requirement laws. However, there are penalties for if you store them improperly and something bad happens. So basically, these are referred to as criminal storage of a firearm in the first, second, and third degree. So first degree criminal storage of a firearm would be if you stored a loaded firearm in your home where you know or reasonably should know a child or a prohibited person is likely to gain unpermitted access to it, and then a death or great bodily injury occurs as a result.
So like under your pillow.
Yeah, you take your loaded gun, you just throw it on your pillow, and, you have a roommate who you know or reasonably should know is prohibited from possessing a firearm because he got some felony charge, a couple years ago. So, and if he took that and something bad happened, he caused an injury or killed someone, you would be liable under California law. And that it's either can be a misdemeanor or felony, and that's the worst of them. As you go down the list to the second and third degree, reasonably or storing a loaded firearm where or reasonably should know a person or prohibited person gains access to the firearm and brandishes that firearm or carries it to a public place. So in this instance, there's been no injury. But let's say, you left your gun under your pillow and it's a loaded gun and your kid takes it to school to show his friends. That can, you're going to be guilty of a misdemeanor if that happens. That's going to be a big problem for you. And that's just the actual legal consequences. You're going to be posted all over the news, and there's going to be all sorts of mayhem in your life for a good long while. And then the third degree, these are both misdemeanors, by the way, the second and third degree, is if you're storing a loaded firearm and you know that a child is likely to gain access to it. And this is an interesting one because if you have a child in your home, there's no requirement that they actually gain access to the firearm to be in violation of this law. So for those of you who have kids and everything, it's important if you have a loaded firearm for self-defense, you put it in some sort of quick access safe to where the child cannot gain access to it, because just the mere fact that they're likely to be able to gain access, if you put it in your closet on a high shelf, that's not good enough. You gotta make sure that they can't gain access, or it's not even likely that they'll gain access to it.
But just to clarify, if you don't have any prohibited people that live in your home, and you don't have any children, and you keep all your doors locked and all your windows locked, you're not, you're using words like likely and access to that sort of thing. If you're just, an individual living in his house, it does not have to be locked up. Now, we recommend, you want your guns kept safely, but if you, for example, Dave, you were saying, hey, if it's under your pillow, or
it's just me and the wife,
your bed stand or something like that. If it's just you and the wife, and you don't have any kids, you don't have any prohibited people in your house, you can store it that way. Is that correct, John?
But John, what if I have a neighbor comes in the house?
Yeah, that's the big issue, and that's why the law and everything uses that ambiguous type of language that can kind of go either way. Is yes, you may live with someone, and it's just you and your wife, and there's no issue. But if at any point you invite people over, or you do anything like that, where people are in your house, that does open you up a little bit. If it's truly, hey, I just put my gun in my drawer and that's it. So I always recommend any client that I ever talk to about how they store their firearms, go get one of the cheap locking cabinets at the very least, something that you can put your gun in behind a key or a quick access safe, something along those lines, because that's at least that's a reasonable measure to keep someone from gaining access, and that's
for less than For less than $10, you can get
green can locker.
Yeah, those little devices you can put into an ammo can.
Yep.
Those are the coolest things on the planet.
Right.
Hey, John, thanks a lot, man. That was great. Give us your website.
Yeah, it's cafirearmslaw.com. It's Gatsky, Dillon, and Balance Firearms Law, where our number is 760-431-9501.
And, folks, he's given you an opportunity. If you have a legal question that's in relationship to guns and ammo and your rights, seriously, cafirearmslaw.com. And if he likes your question, he will definitely announce it on air, and who knows, maybe we can work out something with Gun Range San Diego. Maybe you'll get yourself a special discount.
Oh, how great would that be?
Yeah,
maybe get you in there, get a free rental or something.
Something like that.
We'll work your question. Call in with my own question then?
No, you can't call in.
If I had your money, John, I'd burn all mine.
Dude. You're in a Tesla. I mean, I seen you in a Tesla. Come on. I don't want to.
Excuse me, that is not my Tesla. I just ride in it for fun.
Yeah. Did you give it back yet?
I did, and man, those things are fast. Jeez.
That's like telling Dave, "Hey, Dave, I saw you in a McLaren."
Yeah, right. Exactly. All right, buddy.
Yeah, let's talk about all the cars Dave's.
No. We're moving right along. cafirearmslaw.com. That's Gatsky, Dillon, and Balance, LLP. You got them? You got to speed dial them, folks, just like Hollywood. Keep them in your phone.
Yes, sir.
Take care, buddy. We're going to let you go. Hey,
Thanks,
we
John.
want to thank Trident Gunsmithing. Boy, I tell you, the sisters, I was down checking. I think they're having kids. I swear to goodness, there are so. I mean, there was 2, now there's 4, now there's 6.
Well, you know,
and
Alone and Unafraid had 2 made as well.
They're having
based
kids
on the exact same design of the sisters for Lance. I mean, they are so good looking, and it's so awesome that you let them keep them on the shelf down there.
Those guys are amazing. Everybody got to go see them.
Alone and Unafraid, snuggled up against the sisters.
Exactly.
I knew you were a bad guy.
Exactly.
See, you shit got to keep. You're going to have more guns.
Lock up your sisters.
Yeah, because you can only have one sister a year or one sister a month now until we can get those laws changed. All right, we're going to take a small break. You're the best, man. This is Gun Sports Radio right here on AM 1170. The Answer.
AM 1170. The Answer.
All right, folks. Hey, folks, welcome back. Gun Sports Radio, where we're just trying to have fun. This segment is brought to you by the good folks at Gun Range San Diego. Who would have thought? 7853 Balboa Avenue. It is the Nordstroms of gun ranges in San Diego. If you don't believe it, you can stop by 7 days a week, 10 to 10. See if you can prove me wrong. GunRangeSanDiego.com. GunRangeSanDiego.com. You will not believe what you'll find on that website. There are specials, hours of operation, special deals. And if you join the club, if you join the San Diego or the Gun Range San Diego, what do you call that group over there? I mean, it's like a club.
Well, we have memberships.
Was it a 10-ring, 9-ring?
Well,
no, that's him. He's a 10. Yeah,
he's got the 10-ring guy. No, but we have a bronze, silver, gold, and platinum members.
That's it. Yeah, and Lance is member. Purple?
No, yeah.
Didn't he get the purple
plaid.
one?
He's plaid.
Oh, he's plaid. Oh, that makes all.
That's how Lance made his first million. Is he invented the plaid crayon?
Is that how? I knew there was some reason for that. Hey, so this is Hollywood segment brought to you by Gun Range San Diego. And what do you got for us today there, Hollywood?
So much. I should have brought a notebook. That's how much we got going on over there at the Gun Range San Diego. First of all, just, before I get into all the sales and things like that we're doing, just got to say how excited Veronica is to talk, for Chris Cate to be coming by tomorrow to support him. And we've talked to some customers and things like that, and we're promoting it over there. And it's, other business owners go, really, do you want to get political in your business? You can polarize people and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, it's a gun store, number one, so it's pretty political off the bat. It's especially in Southern California. Or do
we just want to stumble through life uneducated and having people go up there to just take advantage of it?
Exactly. So, I've been there for a while, but this is the first time we've ever gotten this committed politically to anything. Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's just because Chris is such a big supporter of the Second Amendment, and he does a lot of things. You may not be a political person. You may not want to get in that realm. You don't want to get involved, blah, 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 but you like to shoot. Or you
right. And whatever. You want to keep shooting.
Right. If you don't support people like Chris, you're going to eventually lose that deal because the restrictions, not just that the BAT fee puts on the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, what normally people call the ATF. Not only do you have to comply with those guys, but you have to comply with the state level, and then the county level, and then the city level. Mm-hmm. And the city level is we have to pay license fees that nobody else has to pay. We have to pay, storage fees that nobody else has to pay. There's all these fees that just the city of San Diego itself puts on us. And, if they had their way, they would fee us out of business.
If they could.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's all about, revenue for the city.
It would be their legal way of getting rid of you.
Exactly. We're just going to fee them to death until, it's not.
Wait a minute. Aren't you an income generator for the city of San Diego?
Huge.
So why would
we got about 30 employees.
So why would I kick the goose in the neck who's giving me a golden egg.
Because it's just like we talked about earlier, the word gun is somewhere in the title, and people lose their minds, and they make these decisions based on emotion and not on facts. But people like, Chris Cate come in, and they weigh their options, they weigh the decisions, they listen to their constituents, and then they make the vote. That's how, and then they act. That's why I like him so much, because he doesn't necessarily have to personally agree with whatever he's signing, because there's things that I'm sure, that comes through across his desk, but he listens to his constituents, he listens to the voters, he listens to the people who he represents, because he's a true representative, and then he votes accordingly. Well,
he even said that he signed paperwork or he signed things that he didn't believe in, but it was good for
the community, and it's good for the people. Exactly, yeah.
And by him not voting, it's just going to tie it up, and nothing's going to get done.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Now, that's the kind of politician you need, because it's a give and take.
Right.
It's not one way or the other. It's a give and take.
And I don't even like to call people like Chris a politician. I like to call him my representative, because he represents what I need and what I want.
Right. Just to give you an example, the fee to open up a gun shop in the city of San Diego is about $1,800. If you go to El Cajon or some of the other surrounding cities in San Diego, the fee is about $350. So what you're saying about trying to fee them out of business, that's a fact. That's
absolutely.
A fact.
Yeah, absolutely. And so people, we stay super busy because we are like right in the heart of San Diego. We're right on Balboa Avenue between Mercury and Convoy, right out between the 163 and the 805. I mean, we are in the heart of San Diego. Right here, a ton of business districts. We got people, right in the middle. There's a lot of little neighborhoods nestled in there between Claremont, Tierra Santa, and Kearney Mesa, that kind of thing, Miramar. And so we are really close and
you're in an industrial hub.
Right, yeah, and we're very convenient. But what happens is you have the other, we have some of our sister businesses out there that, I don't like to call them competitors, but they're, because we're all in the same business, which is to help keep people shooting, keep, the shooting sports alive. But they're so far out that, who wants to drive an hour to go shoot for an hour? I'd rather drive for 5 minutes to go shoot for an hour.
That's why I'm a member.
Absolutely.
Right by my house.
Yeah. So here we are. And, but like Mike was saying, to run a business in this community, it cost us 6 times as much as it does if we wanted to be out in Lakeside. So it's a big deal to come out and support our local representatives, to make sure that they are doing exactly that, representing what we need and what's going to be convenient, smart, and legitimate for us.
And we support people on both sides of the aisle, because we've got our sheriff running here.
We
too,
talk about absolutely. We're not trying to polarize anybody. Here on this show,
we're
especially, we
who would we have last week?
Single issue.
Who was that sheriff?
Dave Myers.
Dave Myers, who's going to be running for sheriff.
He's a Democrat.
He's a Democrat.
Yep.
Running against.
You weren't here when we had him on.
I wasn't here, but I know him. I know the issue very well. Yeah. And running against a Republican, Gore. I don't even know how you have the last name Gore and call yourself a Republican. Maybe a rhino, maybe.
Al Gore.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
And
relatives.
Yeah. So it's Anyway, that's. I don't want to get down that rabbit hole, but
tomorrow's going to be a fun event too. $50.
Oh my gosh,
right?
it's going to be so much fun. He's going to come down there, and he's going to be shaking hands, kissing babies, doing whatever.
Bring your baby.
Do what them politicians do.
They're doing what our local representatives do, and we're going to be giving classes. There's going to be rentals available. There's going to be there's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of education going on. So. Again, we love first-time shooters at Gun Range San Diego. If you've never shot a gun, you're thinking about shooting a gun, you're a little nervous, please, please, please come to Gun Range San Diego. We're going to make you feel good about it. We're going to make you feel comfortable. You're going to, if it's not the best thing you've ever done in your life, you're definitely going to be happy that you came down. And it's just going to be multiplied.
Young and old.
Chris Cate.
Young and old.
Young, old,
experienced, no experience,
unexperienced, but
male, female.
We love the inexperienced shooter. We love to take somebody who's never shot before and give them a shoot.
And Mike's going to be there, Dave's going to be there, I'm going to be there, and you're going to be there.
And come down, hey, get an autograph.
Get
an autograph
radio
from Dave Stahl.
Right.
Yeah,
everyone's going to be there tomorrow.
Yeah, if you're a member of San Diego County Gun Owners and you haven't picked up your membership card or your lapel pin yet, come on down. Well, come down. I'll be there tomorrow.
Come down.
You can get your lapel pin and you can get your membership card.
I tell you what I'll do. If you come down, if you're a member of San Diego County Gun Owners, this is me. I'm not talking for Veronica. I can't do that.
We don't want you singing.
But if you come down to San Diego County Gun Owners and join San Diego County Gun Owners, I will pay half your range fee.
Wow!
Awesome. I'll give you $7 off. It's $12. You come down and join San Diego County Gun Owners. Out of my own pocket, I'll give you $7 to join to go shoot.
Lance, can you loan him $7?
He's on fire today.
No, I'm
baby.
telling you,
let's get him, keep him rolling.
Yeah,
I'm rolling. I agree.
Yeah, and it's only $10 a month. So I'm giving you your first month almost free. You come down there, and out of my personal pocket, I'll take care of that.
Thank you, Joe. That's very cool.
So you know why he's doing all this?
Why?
Well, because Veronica took his place last week, and he's nervous.
Exactly. I'm trying to keep my
girl
job.
Was good, dude.
I was trying to keep my job.
She rocked it. Yeah, she really did. Then she told us afterwards she was scared to death. I thought she did phenomenal. She did a really good job. So you better not be leaving town.
Exactly. I know. I'm not leaving again. Not on a Sunday.
Absolutely.
That was her fault. I think she was trying to get rid of me.
So what kind of specials you got going on down there?
Oh, my gosh. We got so many right now. We still have in stock Glock 19 solo. I can't say it on the radio, but it is if you know how to do math, our normal price is $4.99, and if you can subtract 30 from that, that's probably what you'll be paying. I don't know.
some number
somewhere. I don't know. Somewhere in that ballpark figure.
Just come down, you'll be happy.
Oh my God, it's crazy. We got Smith & Wesson is doing their own rebate right now on the M&P Shield for $75. Our price is so low that once you get your rebate, it's only $314 for an M&P Shield, 9 or 40 caliber. We have the Taurus M85 ultralight 38 special, like your wife likes to shoot. This one's the ultralight, very lightweight, weighs less than a pound. The gun itself weighs about as much as the 5 rounds that goes into it. That's how light this thing is. Wow. It's great for carry. We're selling. It's normally $449. We got that on sale for $389.
Wow.
We got. Oh my gosh, we got so many. There's so many specials going on right now. Like I can't even name them all.
I know. Hey, I got a question.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to buy, let's say, a gun for my wife, I can't do that. She has to come down and do the paperwork, right?
Well,
how's that work?
Well, here's if you want to make sure that it's in the dealer record of sale is done with her name on it. You come down and pay for it, and then she comes down later and
surprise her.
Yeah, surprise her, and she does the paperwork.
I got you.
You can come down and buy it. We do gift certificates all the time. You come down, you can get a gift certificate for exactly the amount you want. We've even done it before. You come down, and somebody they wanted to buy their significant other a gun. We sold them we let them pay for it. We took the gun and all the stuff out and gave them the empty box without the gun in it, so they could open that up for Christmas.
Gotcha.
And they said they brought the box back, they got the gun, and they did the paperwork.
Okay. It just dawned on me because I mean,
if it is your spouse, I mean, you're in the same house. It's not, if
it's not difficult.
Yeah, just take it home. I mean,
so the law doesn't care who pays for it; it's who takes possession.
It's exactly. It's who does right. Exactly.
You can actually. I've had people take pictures of, like when we do drawings or whatever and give away. Take a picture of the gun, blow up the picture to life size, and put it in the box.
There you go.
Yeah. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, somebody better come fill it up with the real one.
And So any way you want to do it, we'll accommodate and help you get that done.
In other words, as long as it's not illegal, immoral, or fattening, you'll take care of it.
Right, yeah, because you can't buy a gun for someone who normally couldn't purchase a gun for themselves. Anyway.
So in other words, so you can't buy a gun for your uncle who's getting out of prison next Thursday.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Okay, we'll hold off on that one.
Hold off on Uncle Sally.
Uncle Sally.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we're going to take a small break. When we come back, we got a whole lot more right here on Gun Sports Radio with Lance Pelkey and Dave Stahl and Michael Schwartz and Hollywood, only on AM 1170.
The Answer.
1170. The Answer.
Folks, we're working harder off air than we are on air. But Trevor Hoffman in there was expecting me to turn around. Well, normally he's a gull or a hockey guy. I don't know. Now all of a sudden
he's Trevor Hoffman. Hey, all-time saves record for the Padres.
You?
I was at that game. No, Trevor Hoffman.
Oh, when he set the record?
When he set the record, I was at that game. It was amazing.
Hey, folks, 511 Tactical, 1257 Camino del Rio South. You better go down and get your gear before Lance and I buy them out.
Oh, boy.
I am telling you, I got the shoes on, I got the pants, I got my watch. I love that place. And I used to wear Harley-Davidson pants and nothing else. And I didn't wear them last night. I was going up.
And at the Lincoln Reagan dinner coming up on Saturday night.
Are you going to wear your...
We're wearing 511.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you going to the Lincoln Reagan?
Lincoln Reagan dinner, yeah.
Really? Where's that at?
At the Marriott downtown. Saturday night.
Oh, yeah, you're representing
Gun
Sports.
Your invitation?
Gun Sports with the
I paid for
San Diego
his.
County Gun Owners. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, San Diego County Gun Owners has a table.
Yeah, that's great.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so you're going down in Eileen?
511, yeah. She'll be decked out. Beautiful shoes.
In her 511 gear? No.
I will be.
Yeah, you will.
Ever since those guys started sponsoring the show, a lot of the guys from, they already, a lot of guys already did that. But now all the guys at San Diego or Gun Range San Diego, they're wearing they got the boots, they got
have
the
you
pants.
have you tried their Levi, their denims like that?
Yeah, so even Veronica said, all right, yeah, they work. You can wear those for for the uniform of the day or whatever.
Good.
Oh.
Yeah. So they look good. Everybody's going crazy over that.
I know. I love them.
Everybody's just going nuts because it's so comfortable.
It is good stuff. We actually, San Diego County Gun Owners, we are doing embroidered polos. They will be available in the next couple of weeks here, maybe a little bit sooner. But we could have gone with any brand, and I said nope, 511,
and a lot cheaper too.
Yeah,
and cheaper quality, cheaper grade, the whole 9 yards. So
There's definitely a difference between cheap and inexpensive.
That's right.
Yeah, and 511 is you get what you
pay for.
Pardon my pun on the show, but it's a lot of bang for your buck when you spend your money on that.
That's pretty clever. I like that. Yeah. So, hey, folks, I just want to remind you again that GunRangeSanDiego.com is open and alive and well. You can take a look at it. You can see our advertisers. You can also, if you need to look one of them up, because we appreciate if you buy from, oh, my goodness gracious. Lance, you and social media, I swear, I look like the Taliban.
I got Dave on a jib jab, and
is that what that is? A jib jab?
Stuff up, yeah.
That's pretty clever.
Sorry.
Jib jab.
But no, seriously, folks. And then we also have an email at info@gunsportsradio.com. And we didn't really talk about it heavy duty, but San Diego County gun owners, you really need, for $10 a month, you really need to join that because it is such a great organization with your best interests at heart. And that's the only reason Michael quit his day job and put all of his efforts into this organization for you. It's not for him, trust me. I see what he drives. And this is strictly for you folks.
And we have a really cool summer coming up. We have all three of our meetings this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday, it's at San Diego Guns. Wednesday, it's at Gunther Guns. And then Thursday, it's down in Chula Vista at the 7 Mile Casino. We have a tap takeover coming up later this month on June 27th at Mike Hess Brewery in North Park. So there are a lot of opportunities coming up. We'll have our members-only barbecue is coming up at the end of July. And then we're going to go to a Padres game in August. It's going to be San Diego County Gun Owners Day at the park.
Really?
And we're going to have a couple more tap takeovers. There's a lot of opportunities in the next 3 months for you to come out and check out San Diego County Gun Owners and bring your friends and join and have a lot of fun.
Right, $10 a month, and you get a lapel pin, and you get a
membership card,
and bigger than that, email blaster.
I think you get a voice.
This
is the biggest deal. You get a voice, man.
Right.
This really does matter.
Because right now you don't.
You get a voice.
You can sleep well at night knowing that you're going to be heard tomorrow.
You got it. You did something.
That's the biggest benefit to joining San Diego County Gun Owners.
And not blowing your own horn, but I mean, when you took this on, I mean, are you not surprised with the turnout and how many people have just basically come running? Once they find out about you, they pretty much sign up?
I wouldn't say I was surprised because I knew it was the idea and the organization was a good one. I'm just really happy that people are recognizing it as quickly as they are. We didn't anticipate such success so quickly, but we're not where we need to be, but we're further than we expected to be.
Right. But we also need a critical mass too, because when it comes to a voting block with different folks, the faster we get to a critical mass, the better. Right now, you got north of 700 members, give or take, and
just over. Yep.
And if you do hit 2,000 by the end of the year,
that's the goal. 2,000 members by the end of the year.
Come on, you guys, let's go. Come with us.
Man, what do we got to lose?
Come on.
We don't have a big millionaire Bloomberg, like the other side does. But what we do have is we have thousands of people in San Diego that have $10 a month, so we can start to compete with them financially.
Well, and folks, if you're listening to this, tell your friends, because what I find is every time I say, "Hey, have you ever heard of San Diego County gun owners?" No, who are those guys? Which is exactly goes back to what you just said. We're not done. We got a lot more work to do. It's when all of a sudden you see people with their lapel pins or they got their bumper stickers. Oh, you don't have bumper stickers yet.
Those are coming.
You're working on bumper stickers.
Those are coming.
But it's just, I'm telling you, folks, it's a phenomenal. And for $10 a month, and if you're a smoker, I understand it's $8 for a pack of cigarettes now.
Yeah, really. Well,
so just kick one pack for one time, and then
no kidding,
throw the tip in. And then tomorrow night,
5 gallons of gas with you 18 cents tax they're throwing on there in November.
And then tomorrow night at Gun Range San Diego, Chris Cate's going to be there.
Going to be there from
6 to 10.
And and it's not again, it's not just what's in your district. Our wonderful mayor. I don't live on Coronado, but the wonderful mayor over at Coronado. He was on here. Was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, Richard Bailey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he talked about how important it was to go out and support your local representative and how much voice. I was really surprised when we asked him, hey, what's a turnout for a city council meeting or something like that? And he's like, if 2 people show up, it's a big deal, and we really listen. I'm like, oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Only 2. So, I mean, it's a big deal.
But how many people do we have complaining versus how many people go to these meetings?
Right, yeah, show up.
That's the problem.
History is made by those who show up.
And also, if you guys have
90% of it showing up.
If you got a pen or something, you write it down, but you could look up your elected official. It's USA.gov. USA.gov, real easy, and you can find out who your elected official is, for federal, but down to the local level. And a lot of people ask. Okay, well, what are we doing? What is okay? We have a voice, but what are we using that voice for? Well, we're talking to a couple of different cities in San Diego about issuing concealed weapon permits to their police chief. If Gore,
Marietta, now,
just like they did. If Gore's not going to do it, then great. We're talking to the city of La Mesa and the city of Escondido, and we're going to talk to more cities.
We're your voice. If you want to know why you can't carry in Chula Vista, you'll never find anybody that'll answer your question.
Right.
But when San Diego County Gun Owners walks in the door, because you got over 700 people behind you and a lot more coming, they'll stop and say, all right, what's your question?
Exactly. Yeah. And we're talking to a couple other cities about doing a resolution telling the sheriff that, hey, you do need to change your policies on CCWs. And we're teaching people how to shoot and getting them into the shooting sports. And, those are the types of activities that we can all come together and do, and it starts momentum.
I think the sheriff thing. I think the sheriff thing is a problem to where if the sheriff says, yes, I'll get you a CCW, and then something goes awry, you get into a situation, he doesn't want to be the one that says, oh, my gosh, now I'm going to be blamed for it. That's the biggest problem. So we need somebody with some huevos.
I don't know if that's it or not, Dave. I think it's just a guy who he thinks he knows what's better for you more than you do.
Hoffman's about ready to have a heart attack on third base.
Nick, we love you, baby.
Gun Sports Radio right here on AM 1170.
The Answer.
Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network.